Good morning everyone. Today I am going to discuss principle of acidimetry and alkalimetry, the normality equations. So what are the principles of acidimetry, alkalimetry? The law of normality can be stated as equal volume of solutions of two reacting substance, acid and base, of equal strength of expressed in normality exactly neutralize each other. So what I said, the law of normality can be stated as equal volume of solutions of two reacting substance, acid and base, of equal strength expressed in normality exactly neutralize each other. So that is the principle of a statement of acidimetry, alkalimetry. Okay. So law of normality can be stated as equal volume of solutions of two reacting substance, acid and base, of equal strength expressed in normality exactly neutralize each other. Let's consider an acid and base titration. Let us consider an acid and base titrations in which V1 ml of an acid solution of strength S1 normal is titrated with V2 ml of an alkali solution of strength S2 normal. So normality equation can be written as V1 S1 equals to V2 S2, as I told you in the last video lecture. So V1 S1 equals to V2 S2. This is the normality equations. That is volume of acid into strength of acid equals to volume of alkali into strength of alkali. So let us consider an acid base titrations in which V1 ml of an acid solution of strength S1 normal is titrated with V2 ml of an alkali solution of strength S2 normal. So normality equation can be written as V1 S1 equals to V2 S2. That is volume of acid into strength of acid equals to volume of alkali multiply strength of alkali. That is nothing but a V1 S1 V2 S2. Okay. Now the important definition, standard solution. What is the standard solution? What is the Pymer standard solution? Primary and secondary standard solutions. Okay. So a solution of known strength used in volumetric analysis is called standard solution. So solution of known strength used in volumetric analysis is called standard solution of 0.1 normal sodium carbonate is standard solution as strength is known. Okay. So solution of known strength used in volumetric analysis. Solution of known strength, that is the standard solution. As for example, 0.1 normal sodium carbonate solution is the standard solution because its strength is 0.1. Strength is known. Okay. Now standard solution is kind of two types: primary standard solution and secondary standard solution. First of all, primary standard solution. These are the substances which can be obtained in pure and dry state. The accurate weight of these substances can be found out by weighing them in a chemical balance. Furthermore, these substances do not suffer or react any chemical change even they are exposed to the atmosphere for a prolonged period of time, having definite strength. So primary standard substance, these are the substances having definite strength which does not react with carbon dioxide, moisture, water vapor, etc., which exist in a pure state and dry state, which has a particular definite strength. Okay, such for examples sodium carbonate, oxalic acid, potassium dichromate, borax, zinc acetate. So these are the primary standard solution. If you prepare solutions n by 10 or any strength today, after 10 days strength will be same. Okay, so that is the primary standard substance which exists in pure and dry state, which doesn't react with water, vapor, moisture, carbon dioxide, or if you expose in the atmosphere does not any change, chemical change, which also have a definite strength. A standard solution of such substance can be prepared by dissolving a known weight of it in a known volume of water. So standard solution of such substance can be prepared by dissolving known weight of it in a known volume of water. The standard solution of the PPR is called primary standard solution. Similarly, secondary standard substance, these are the substances that are not available in pure and dry conditions. They react with moisture, carbon dioxide. Their strength can be determined by the help of primary standard substance, are called secondary standard substance. They doesn't have any definite strength. Their strength can be determined by the help of primary standard substance. Sodium hydroxide HCl, KMnO4, H2SO4, KOH, sodium thiosulfate, etc. Hygroscopic, certain substance when exposed to the atmosphere at ordinary temperatures absorb moistures from the atmosphere without dissolving in it. Such substance is called hygroscopic substance, and the property is called hygroscopic in nature, which absorb water molecules, which is used in a desiccator. Calcium oxides, calcium chloride, sulfuric acids, desiccator, as in the desiccator, that's types of compound used. Calcium oxides, anhydrous calcium chloride, concentrated sulfuric acids, and phosphorus pentoxides. It should be concentrated. Okay. Okay, next move on. Depending on the nature of reaction involved in the titrations, three types of indicators are generally distinguished or differentiated. Okay, now come to the indicators. We have discussed titrations, process of titration, titrant, trident, how to perform, then the standard solution, then the primary standard, secondary standard, hygroscopic compound. Next come to the, I also discussed the pH value. Okay, now come to the indicators. So depending on the nature of reactions involved in the titrations, three types of indicators are generally distinguished. Acid base indicator, we know, very commonly indicator, common indicator, acid base indicators. As for example, phenolphthalein, methyl orange, methyl red. So phenolphthalein, methyl orange, methyl red, acid base indicator. Oxidation reduction or redox indicator, as for example diphenylamine. Adsorption indicator, red dye eosines. So these are the three types of indicators. Okay, now we discuss the acid base indicators. Okay, acid base indicators. An acid base indicator is a substance which possesses one color in acid solution and different color in basic solutions, and is used to indicate the endpoint in acid base titrations. So acid base indicator, an acid base indicator is a substance which possesses one color in acid solution and different color in basic solution, and is used to indicate the endpoint of the acid base titrations. Okay, acid base indicator indicates whether solution is acidic or alkaline and cannot be used for determination of strength of acidic or alkaline solution. So acid base indicator indicates whether the solution is acidic or alkaline and can't be used for determination of strength of acidic or alkaline solution. As for example, phenolphthalein, methyl orange indicators themselves are their weak acids or weak base. They do not interfere with the reactions between an acid and alkali. So indicator do not interfere with the reactions of between acids and alkali. Okay, now come to indicators, their pH range and color range. So color range, pH range, and indicator you should remember. It should be important. Very important for both theoretical and practical purpose during acid base titration, during pH determination, conductivity determination, so many practicals. So indicator phenolphthalein, whose pH range 8.3 to 10.5. You know, this is the alkaline range, colorless to pink. Phenol red 6.8 to 8.4, yellow to red. Methyl orange 3.2 to 4.5, pink to yellow. Methyl red 4.4 to 6.5, red to yellow. Litmus 5.5 to 7.5, red to blue. So that is the color range, color change corresponding indicator having a pH range. Okay, we should remember these indicators, name of the indicators, color change, and the pH range. Okay, so you know these are the acidic pH, this is the basic pH. Okay, now come to choice of indicator. for which case which indicator is to be utilized. That is the choice of indicator. Whether strong acid, strong base, what type of indicator, strong acid, weak base, what type of indicator can be used, that is depends on choice of indicators. So all acid base indicators are not suitable for the titrations. All acid base indicators are not suitable for the titration of any acid with any base. Depending on the nature of acid and base, different indicators are used. In the titration of strong acid, say HCl, with strong base, say sodium hydroxide, any indicator may be used because the salt form does not undergo hydrolysis and the solution remains neutral. So for strong acid, strong base, you can use any indicator, methyl orange, phenolphthalein, methyl red, anything, okay, because the salt produced does not undergo hydrolysis and the solution remains neutral. Okay, so in the titration of strong acid and strong base, you can use strong acid, strong base, any indicator. If a weak acid is titrated with strong base, acetic acid with sodium hydroxide, the resulting salt sodium acetate, okay, sodium acetate, okay, undergoes hydrolysis because strong electrolyte undergoes hydrolysis and the solution is alkaline having pH greater than 7. So having pH greater than 7 due to the presence of strong base NOH. So if a weak acid is titrated with strong base, the resulting salt sodium acetate undergo hydrolysis and solution is alkaline having pH greater than 7 due to the presence of sodium hydroxide. So that's why weak acid strong base phenolphthalein indicator should be used. Weak acid strong base phenolphthalein should be used. Okay. So sodium acetate water, acetic acid plus NOH. Okay, hence the titration of weak acid and strong base indicates whose color change takes place in higher range, that is pH 8.3 to 10. Phenolphthalein indicator should be used. Now option C, if a strong acid HCl is titrated with weak base, with a weak base ammonium hydroxides, the resulting salt ammonium chloride undergoes hydrolysis and the solution becomes acidic due to the presence of strong acid in solution. Hence the titration of strong acid with weak base indicator whose color range takes place in lower range such as methyl orange pH 3.1 to 4.4 or methyl red 4.2 to 6.3 should be used as ammonium chloride react with water to form ammonium hydroxide plus HCl. If you look here, strong acid, weak base, methyl orange and methyl red indicator. Okay. Option D, to titrate a weak acids with weak base, no indicator is suitable since such solutions on addition of alkali or acid during titration changes its pH very slowly like buffer solution. So that's why there is no satisfactory indicator has been used as I have shown here. So weak acid, weak base, no indicator is satisfactory. Okay, so I have discussed the four options A, B, C, D. Weak acid, weak base, no satisfactory indicator has been used because the addition of alkali or base or acid or base during the titration changes its pH very slowly like buffer solution. Okay, now neutralizations. It is a type of reactions between acid and base in which H plus ions of the acids combine with OH minus ions of the base to give salt and water. So that is called neutralization reactions. So neutralization reactions means it is a type of reactions between acids and base in which H plus ions of the acids combine with OH minus ions of the base to give salt and water. HCl plus NOH, NaCl plus water, acetic acid plus NOH, sodium acetate plus water. Okay, so in neutralization The acid and base are the reactant while the salts and water are products. This is the salt, NaCl water, sodium acetate water. This is the salt and product. Water is the product. Okay. The property of free acids and that of free base is destroyed in the solution. Okay. Any acid and base can take part in the neutralization reactions. So any acid and base can take part in the neutralization reactions. Okay. Now come to another important term, hydrolysis. Hydrolysis. Hydrolysis is applicable to salts. Hydrolysis is applicable to salts. Hydrolysis is applicable to salts. It is a type of reactions in which the salt reacts with water to produce free acids and free base. Hydrolysis is applicable to salts. It is a type of reactions in which salt reacts with water to produce free acids and free base. Ba plus water, you get Ha plus BOH, acids and base. Number 1, in hydrolysis, the salt and water are the reactants. In hydrolysis, salt and water are the reactants and the acid base are the products. NH4Cl plus water, ammonium hydroxide plus HCl. Okay, so these are the products, these are the reactants. Free acid and free base are produced in solutions. Free acids and free base are produced in solution. Hydrolysis, during the hydrolysis. All salts do not undergo hydrolysis. All salts do not undergo hydrolysis. As for example, salt of strong acid, strong base, NaCl, K2SO4 do not undergo hydrolysis. All salts do not undergo hydrolysis. Salts of strong acid, strong base, NaCl and K2SO4 do not undergo hydrolysis. So these are the features or characteristics of hydrolysis. Okay. Now hydrolysis is kind of two types: cationic hydrolysis, anionic hydrolysis. It is considered as the reverse of the neutralizations. Cationic hydrolysis, it is considered as the reverse of neutralization. If the acid produced is strong and the base produced is weak, then the cation reacts with water to give an acidic solution. This is known as cationic hydrolysis. If the acid produced is strong and the base produced is weak, then the cation reacts with water to give an acidic solution. Similarly, anionic hydrolysis, if the acid produced is weak and the base produced is strong, then anion reacts with water to give a basic solutions. So if the acid produced is weak and the base produced is strong, then anion reacts with water to give a basic solution. This is known as anionic hydrolysis. Okay, so these are the two types of hydrolysis: cationic hydrolysis, anionic hydrolysis, and what is the hydrolysis features, characteristics, and neutralization reactions, and also choice of indicators corresponding pH range and color range. Next, move on another. Now salt. Now come to the salt. A substance which ionizes in water to produce cations other than H plus ions. A substance which ionizes in water. A substance which ionizes in water to produce cations other than H plus ions and anions other than OH minus ions is called salt. Salt are produced by the neutralization reactions. A substance which ionizes in water to produce cations other than H plus ions and anions other than OH minus ions is called salt. Salt are produced by the neutralization reaction. As I discussed in the previous slide, for acid-base reactions we get the salt. Salt characteristics: salt is an ionic compound that results from the neutralization reactions of an acid and base. So during the neutralization reactions we get a salt. Salt is an ionic compound that results from the neutralization reaction of an acid and base. Number 2, it is composed of related number of cations, positively charged ions, and anions, negative charged ions, so that the product is electrically neutral without a net charge. There may be simple salts such as NaCl, KCl, and Na2SO4. Acid salt like sodium bicarbonate, or double salt like more salt, ammonium sulfate, FeSO4 6 water. Okay. So these type of salts we have discussed. Now, in other words, salt is compound from. In other words, salt is compound formed by the partial or complete replacement of repressible hydrogen atoms from an acid molecule by means of metal or radical which reacts like a metal. Okay. So, in other words, a salt is a compound formed by partial or complete replacement of the repressible hydrogen atom from an acid molecule by means of metal or radical which acts like a metal. So what? So you see, this is the picture of the salts. Okay. See, jars contain salts. Okay, you know, one of the most familiar example, sodium chloride, table salt, which are used day by day. So potassium nitrate H2SO4, less than 200 degree temperature, we get potassium bisulfate, acidic salt and nitric acid. So partial replacement. This is the partial replacement, we get the salt KHSO4. Similarly, potassium nitrate plus H2SO4 greater than 200 degree centigrade, we get potassium sulfate, which is normal salt, plus twice HNO3. This is the complete replacement. Okay. So different types of salt, we know different types of salts are: number one, normal salt, acidic salt, basic salt, double salt, complex salt, mixed salt. So mixed salt, complex salt, double salt, basic salt, acidic salt, normal salt. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 types of salts are present. So normal salt, acidic salt, basic salt, double salt, complex salt and also mixed salt. So here I have shown the examples of normal salt. So I have already discussed. This is the pictures of the salts, and this is the how to get the salts or produce salt from partial replacement and complete replacement. So acid HCl HNO3, H2SO4, H3PO4, number of replaceable hydrogen atom, HCl1, HNO3 1, H2SO4 2, H3PO4 3. So normal salt we get NaCl, NH4Cl, zinc chloride, KCl, magnesium chloride, NaNO3, ammonium nitrate, zinc nitrate, Na2SO4, K2SO4, zinc sulfate, ammonium sulfate, H3PO4, Na3PO4, K3PO4, ammonium phosphate, calcium phosphate. So these are the normal salts which we are obtained from the replacement of 1, 2, 3 hydrogen atoms from the respective acids. So these are the examples of normal salt. So we have discussed salt, what is salt, what are the characteristics of salt, and how we will get the salt from partial replacement and complete replacements. Okay, so I have shown you, I have discussed, okay, the different types of salt: normal salt, acidic salt, basic salt, double salt, complex salt, mixed salt. There are different types of salt which will be discussed in the next slide. This is the picture of the salts, how it is looked like. That is the, just like you see, this is the crystalline salts. If you talk about the sodium chloride, the crystallines. So these are the salt. Okay. Now move on. Properties of salts. Okay. Properties of salts. Salt is a chemical compound with number of interesting properties. Salt is a chemical compound with a number of interesting properties. Crystal or white crystalline powder. Generally salts are crystalline, although crystal, I have already discussed crystalline solid, amorphous solid, but here we talk about the salt, crystalline or white crystalline powder, and transparent and colorless in crystalline form, rather like ice. Okay, soluble in water. Soluble in water. Later we will discuss the solubility chart, which was soluble, which was insoluble. Slightly soluble in alcohol but insoluble in concentrated hydrochloric acids. Non-combustible, low toxicity, hygroscopic, absorb moisture from damp atmosphere above 70% relative humidity. Below this it will dry out. Salt water contains ions and is fairly good conductor of electricity. This electrostatic force of attraction holds the ions together and a chemical bond is said to form between them. So that is the character properties or of salts or characteristics of salts. Okay. Now normal salt. What is the normal salt? Normal salt is a salt formed by the complete replacement of replaceable hydrogen atom. So normal salt is a salt formed by the complete replacement of replaceable hydrogen atoms form an acid molecule by means of metal or group of elements acting like a metal. Example, the compounds like KCl, NaCl, FeSO4, Na2SO4, ApCl2, calcium carbonate, sodium acetate, magnesium nitrate, etc. are normal salt. Obviously, a normal salt doesn't contain replaceable hydrogen atom in its molecule. So, what the normal salt I told you? A normal salt is a salt formed by the complete replacement of replaceable hydrogen atom. Form an acid molecule by means of metal or group of elements acting like metal. Example, compound like KCl, NaCl, FeSO4, Na2SO4, ApCl2, Cl2, calcium carbonate, sodium acetate, magnesium nitrate are normal salt. Obviously, normal salt doesn't possess any replaceable hydrogen atom in its molecule issue. There is no hydrogen atoms. Okay. Next, move on another salt, acidic salt. So, what is acidic salt? Now, acid salt is that which contains one or more replaceable hydrogen atoms. And acid salt is that which contains one or more replaceable hydrogen atom in its molecule and is formed by the partial replacement of hydrogen ion atoms, partial replacement of H atoms. Partial replacement of H atoms present in acid molecule by means of metal or positive radical. Examples, the compounds like sodium bisulfate, sodium bicarbonate, potassium bicarbonate, sodium biphosphate, potassium biphosphate, and etc. are acidic salts. It is formed as follows: sodium hydroxide H2SO4, you get sodium bisulfate plus water. If you take excess sodium hydroxide, this is the insufficient amount. H2SO4, you get normal salt Na2SO4. So, an acid salt is that which contains one or more replaceable hydrogen atom in its molecules and is formed by the partial replacement of hydrogen atom present in an acid molecule by means of metals or positive radical. Examples, the compounds like NaHSO4, NaHCO3, KHCO3, NaH2PO4, KH2PO4 are the example of acidic salts. It is formed as sodium hydroxide H2SO4. If you take sodium hydroxide in insufficient amount, you get NaHSO4 water. If you get excess ammonium sodium hydroxide, take excess sodium hydroxide, then you get normal salt. Now come to basic salt. It is formed by the partial replacement of hydroxyl group of a di or triacidic base. It is formed by the partial replacement of hydroxyl group of a di or triacidic base by an acid radical. Examples, the compounds like magnesium OHCl, CuOHCl, white lead, PbCO3 dot PbOH whole 2, etc. PbOH whole twice diacidic base plus HCl, you get PbOHCl plus water, basic salt. Similarly, magnesium hydroxide plus HCl, you get magnesium OHCl plus water. So you get the basic salts. Okay. So basic salt, it is formed by the partial replacement of hydroxyl group of a di or triacidic base by an acid radical. Example, compound like magnesium OHCl, CuOHCl, white lead, twice PbCO3 dot PbOH whole twice. You get the reaction PbOH whole twice, diacidic base plus twice HCl, you get PbOHCl plus water. Similarly, magnesium hydroxide HCl, you get magnesium OHCl plus water. So I have discussed normal salt, acidic salt, basic salt, okay, and also the properties of the salt. Okay, we should go through this and practice the reaction how to get these salts. This is also very important with the examples. normal salt, acidic salt, basic salt. Next, move on, complex salt. Okay, now complex salt. A complex salt is a salt which contains a complex ion or complex neutral molecule in which there is a central metal ion surrounded by a number of neutral molecules or negative ions. It doesn't lose their identity in aqueous solution. Examples: the compounds like potassium ferrocyanide, K4 FeCnO6, potassium argentocyanide, KAgCnO twice, tetraaminocupric sulfate, CuNH3 4SO4, sodium argentocyanide, K2HgI4, etc. are the complex salt. On dissociation, it gives one simple and complex ions as follows. So what I told you, complex salt is a salt which contains complex ions or complex neutral molecules in which there is a central metal ion surrounded by number of neutral molecules, that is ligands. You see Cn is a ligand, here the negative ions or negative ions. It doesn't lose their identity. If you dissolve it, you get 4K plus FeCnO6 minus. This is the complex ions, this is the simple ions. Okay, so it doesn't lose their identity. Examples: the compounds like potassium ferrocyanide, potassium argentocyanide, etc. On the dissociation, it gives one simple and complex ions. Simple means potassium ions K4, 4K plus FeCnO6. This is the anionic complex. This is the simple ions. Okay, so this is the complex salt. Doesn't lose their identity. It gives simple ions and complex ions. Okay, it is contains a central metal ion which is surrounded by the neutral molecules or the negative ions. Nothing but a ligand molecule, ligands. Okay, in coordination chemistry. So in the next, mixed salt, the salt that consists of fixed proportion of two salts. The salt that consists of fixed proportion of two salts, often sharing either a common cation or common anion, is known as mixed salt. Examples: bleaching powder, COCl2. So salt that salt that consists of fixed proportion of two salts, often sharing either in common cations or common anions, known as mixed salt. Examples: bleaching powder, OCl2. Okay. Next, double salt. This is also very important. The salt that contains more than one cation or anion are known as double salt. Okay, which on dissolution on water gives two types of metal ions and lost their identity. That is the basic difference double salt and complex salt. When dissolution in water, it lose their identity, but complex salt doesn't lose their identity. So they are obtained by the combination of two different salts crystallized in same ionic lattice. Examples: the compounds like potassium K2SO4 Al2SO4 whole thrice, 24 water, more salt FeSO4 NH4 6 water, potassium sodium tartarate KNSC4H4O6 4 water, also known as Rachel salt. So these are the Rachel salt, more salt, and the potassium act the example of double salt. So that salt contain more than one cations and anions are known as double salt, which on dissolution in water gives two types of metal ions and lost their identity. They are obtained by the combination of two different salts crystallized in same ionic lattice. Examples: compounds like potassium K2SO4 Al2SO4 whole thrice, 24 water, more salt, FeSO4 ammonium sulfate 6 water, and also potassium sodium tartarate, Rachel salt. So these are the examples of double salt. Basic difference of double salt, complex salt does not lose their identity, but double salt lose their identity. Next, neutral salt. They are found by the neutralization of strong acid, strong base, are called neutral salt because they are aqueous solution neutral to litmus. Example: compounds like NaCl, KCl, K2SO4, sodium nitrate, KClO3, KClO4, etc. neutral salt. So they are found by the neutralization of strong acid and strong base, are called neutral salt because their aqueous solution are neutral to litmus. Examples: the compound like NaCl, KCl, K2SO4, sodium nitrate, KClO3, KClO4, etc. are neutral salt. So that is the salts I have discussed: mixed salt, double salt, complex salt, neutral salt, normal salt, acid salt, basic salts. Okay, so I hope you are enjoying this video. Thanks for watching this video.